Hi everyone and welcome to the Turtlebat YouTube. I'm Gary and today I'm going to be doing another action figure unboxing and review video. So I'm going to roll the titles and then we'll go straight into taking a look at today's figure. And so here is today's figure, the brand new Indiana Jones Adventure Series, Raiders of the Lost Ark Indiana Jones. So on the front of the box here we have the iconic Indiana Jones title. We have the Adventure Series title for this brand new 6-inch series. We have the call out here for being build an artifact. So in this case it's you build the Ark of the Covenant from the movie. We have a bit of toy photography here of Indy. We have a beautiful drawing of Indy. We have a map at the back. You can see these little red dots here, and we'll come to those in a moment. Down at the bottom we have our warning, we have our call out, that's plastic free packaging, but we can see that anyway with it just been a plain cardboard box. Then if we turn it around we have this beautiful art here again of Indy with some iconic moments from the movie. Then round the back here we have more toy photography of Indy. We have the build an artifact, so we can see if we follow the red dots here, Indy comes with the top of the Ark. So this is actually quite cool. This comes down through the map, round the back of the image here. You can just about see it there. And then comes round the front of the package. And then comes round to the side here. So it actually shows you now, this is the piece that comes with Indiana. And then here are the other 4 figures in the wave. And here is the parts that they come with as well. So that's quite cool. Then we also have call out, which I quite like as well, 6.3 inches, 15.9 centimeters. We have all in these accessories. Again, we see the Ark of the Covenant pieces that he comes with. Then we have our warning and legal information then over here. And then if we just flip it over, on the bottom we have our barcode and our legal information, and then on the top we have our shelf tab, which is no real use to me in this instance. I ordered mine's online from Comics and Cocktails. So what we'll do now is I'll get the figure out of the box and have a look at the actual inside of the package in here. So here we go, I have opened the box now, so we'll just take everything out here. So the first thing I noticed there was, as is the plastic free packaging, same if you've seen my Spider-Man Renew Your Vows 2-pack or my Venom and Null 2-pack. So just get this out because this feels like it's going to be empty. So I'm just going to tear this. So this is what Hasbro been doing for a lot of the plastic free packaging, is just cardboard and then the figure been held on. So this definitely feels like Indy. We have this paper here, but what's quite nice is it has the map just showing there, so that's quite a nice touch. They could just easily just put it in an ordinary paper bag, same as they did with the Marvel Legends, but I quite like that they've went the extra mile and put this little design on. So put him there for now, and then we have this next piece here, which I have a feeling is his accessories. And I'm just trying to get it out, it's a bit tricky here. So again, same kind of size bag as what Indy has. So put that there, we'll get that out in a moment. And then last thing then, we have build an artifact. And it's just here. Oh no, so actually it's just on the back, so this is interesting. So there's nothing there, and then if we flip it round, we have build an artifact, we have the Ark, and then it's actually showing you how to put the different pieces together. So we'll just get this out of the way, and then if we bring the box back in here, we just have a little legal information sheet. We can get that out of the way as well, and then nothing else in the box, so we'll get that out of the way too. And now we'll just get the first accessory pieces open here. Get these all out. You can just see Indy's boots sticking through there. So I'll just move these back so you can kind of hopefully see them. So we have a little bit of everything. So I'll take a more in-depth look at these in a moment. But here we have Indy's coiled whip. We have Indy's pistol. We have a closed fist. Oops. We have an open left hand. We have another closed fist, this time for his right. And what looks to be, depending on what way you look at it, it's either a thumbs up hand, if I can get it here, or it's a bit of a thumbs up, or it could be for the pistol potentially. Or no, it's for the whip. I'm just thinking it's so we can put his thumb in the back of the whip. What am I saying? Which, speaking of, we will get that unfolded in a minute. And then here we have our Ark of the Covenant pieces. So there, either side of the Ark. And then here we have the infamous idol from the beginning of the movie. So just get these all out of the way. And now just get the figure out of the packaging. Get that packed out of the way. And so first things first, because it is plastic-free packaging, I'm very happy to say it is Dr. Indiana Jones, or Dr. Henry Jones Jr. It's not a salt shaker or rocks, as I've seen some poor unfortunate folks getting. Thankfully, again, I ordered online from Comics and Cocktails, so I was pretty confident that it would be okay with them. But yeah, there he is in all his glory. So we'll get a proper look at him now. I'll just get his joints warmed up here, and then I'll take a look at the articulation. So I'm just going to bring him out of the frame here, and then next thing to do is we'll have a look at the articulation. And so here we have the figure. So this is a beautiful sculpt of Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. There's great detail in here. Now some interesting things to note is the hat is glued onto the head. It doesn't appear like it can come off here, so it is just glued on there. So there is no, it's not a separate accessory, it is glued onto the figure. Then with that, we do have Indy's iconic brown leather jacket. Now here, his arms are painted, and the jacket itself is just a separate piece. So it's not one solid piece. I believe this is to allow for articulation. Anyone who has seen Jazzwares, all Elite Wrestling figures, will know what it's like when the leather jackets are one piece. You can't move them. Same for the Mattel WWE Elite figures, the likes of The Undertaker with a long coat. You can't move them. So this way, with the jacket being a separate piece, just almost like a waistcoat, it does make it far easier for posing, and it does still look here like it is all one piece. So it's quite a genius design there. Then you can see the strap running down here for Indy's satchel, and then that just comes out round the back here, just coming out just below the bottom of his jacket. Then we have his beige shirt here, then we have his belt, then we have his belt with his gun holster, and this little tab hanging down here. We just try and fold this up. So this is meant to be for his whip. Now there is a tiny little tab here, if you can just see it. It doesn't stick into the hole in the belt that well. It really should be bigger to try and stick in and stay. Now I did manage to get it to stay in off camera for all of about a second, but that was after about 10 minutes of trying to do so. And then we have his brown, I believe, cargo pants here, or khakis, and then his shoes. So everything is beautifully detailed, beautifully sculpted here. Like you can see, whoops, it was stopping from falling here. You can see the ruffles in the jacket, the sleeves here. You can see the age, and in the back you can see where the leather's cracking with age. You know, just all these little details painted in. You can see it here on his collar as well. Moving down, then you can see again the nice touch, just the wrinkles, the crumples at the bottom of his legs there, just where the trousers are crumpling up a bit. Whoops, he's just falling back there. So really nice details like that really show up the figure. And then the next thing we'll take a look at then will be the articulation. So we'll just cut away to that. Okay, so take a look now at the articulation. So first up we have the head. So this appears to be on a ball joint. So the head goes back, goes forwards, goes left, goes right. I had to think there. And that's fine. And then moving down we have the arms here. So somewhat standard articulation. So we have a hinge at the shoulder appears to be on a butterfly joint as well. So actually we'll do it on his other arm, folks, because that one's a bit stiff. So the arm hinges up, a little bit of a fight to do it, hinges up, hinges down, rotates the full way around, and then with the butterfly joint you can just about see it there. It's the butterfly joint backwards and forth for greater, backwards and forwards or back and forth for greater movement. And then moving down here, so the elbows on both arms are just single hinges here. So hinge up, and whoops, that's a bit of articulation we'll come to in a moment. We'll just put that back on. So hinges up, hinges down, and then swivels left and right. So it's a hinge and a swivel joint, which will be familiar to anyone who's Masters of the Universe Origins collector. They use a similar joint. So instead of being a double joint as we've used to in years past with Hasbro 6-inch lines, I've noticed that at least with their Lucasfilm lines, Indiana Jones now and Star Wars, they are moving back to single joints. I believe it's to give greater detail in the sculpt. And then moving down to his wrist, the wrist just swivels round here, but that's it. There's no hinge as we would normally have, and the reason for this is, as you may have seen there, so pop that out. So we just have a ball joint there. This is very similar to Japanese toy manufacturers, where it's just a ball joint and then the hand just pops onto it. I personally don't like this style of doing hands on figures, especially collector figures. I prefer a peg, especially as a peg allows you to have a hinge, whereas with this you can just turn it round and that's it. You can't do much else there with it. And then moving down to the waist here, we just have a swivel at the waist, and I believe it might be on a dumbbell joint because it can rock back, rock forward. There's a good deal of movement there at the waist. Then moving down to the legs, legs hinge up, or not hinge, sorry, their legs are on a ball joint, I should say. Legs are on a ball joint, so they go up, down, swing out, swing back in, and that is the same with both. So up, down, out, in. Then we have a swivel at the thigh joint here, so we'll just turn that around, and then we have a single joint at the knee. So just see there. So again, Hasbro getting rid of the double joints that we would normally be used to on 6-inch collector figures. And again, I believe this is just to try and get a bit of detail, bit more detail, bit more on the sculpt, because you can see here where they actually have the cut in the figure there, just around here for the knee to connect into there. And then the foot is standard kind of articulation at the foot, so we have a hinge, hinge down, hinge up, swivel left, swivel right, and a rocker ankle as well. And again, so everything is the exact same on the left side. So up, down, in, out. Single knee joint here at the knee. This is a hinge again, and I forgot to say it last time as well, there is a swivel here at that hinge joint as well, but you just have to be careful. You don't want to swing it too far. And then a hinge at the foot, hinge down, hinge up, swivel right, swivel left, and rocker. Okay. So next we'll take a look at the accessories. So I'll just pull Indy out here, and now take a look at the accessories. The first thing we'll look at here is Indy's coiled whip. So you can see this is just molded in a solid sort of browny red plastic. We can see the handle of the whip here on the left, and then the end of it on the right. We can just see where it's coiled around there. And then, speaking of Undy's whip, we'll just get the actual whip accessory in then. So you can see, again, molded in the same brown red plastic there on the handle. The whip itself is a bit of a mix between like a plastic and a kind of a cord. So there is a little bit of posability to it, but I have a feeling it's going to take some work to actually get that in some classic kind of indie poses. So there we go, just give you a better look at that. And then next up, we have Indy's pistol. So just get this now. Here we go. So there we have his pistol. So this is just molded in a solid black plastic. Just looks to be like a small revolver. And I'll just take it by the nose here just so we can show you the handle of it here. And just a bit at the back. So there we go. And next, just as I showed at the start of the video here, so we have the iconic idol that started it all. And this is molded in a solid gold plastic. But you can see here there is some nice detailing on it. You can see how the light just bounces off it there, gives it that nice golden sheen. So that's a really nice touch, and it's a great likeness to the actual movie prop as well. And then, although they're not technically accessories, we have a closed left fist for Indy. So this is just molded in the same sort of flesh toned plastic here. There we go, get a good look there. And if we just switch this around just to show you the little ball joint there, where it would connect on. So again, this is very like Japanese toys, or Japanese collector's figures I should say, where there is no hinge, no peg. It is just a ball joint that the hand connects onto. And then here we have the right fist. So this is just a closed right fist. And then we have what I believe is Indy's whip holding hand for his right hand. So you can see where the thumb's extended and the fingers are curled in there in a C grip as if they're gripping onto the handle of the whip. And we'll just turn that down there. And then the final hand is another C-gripped style hand. This is Indy's left hand. So if we just turn that around, just to let you see that, get a good look at that. And again, all of these have that little ball joint hole on the end of the hand there, just so it can plug straight onto the ball joint. And then the last of the accessories here is for the Ark of the Covenant. So we have the golden statue here. I'll just move that back a bit. I'll just get it from the other side here for you. Try and give you a bit of a better look at it. So that's one. And here is the second one, which is pretty much identical. And they will go on either side of the top of the Ark of the Covenant. Once you've all the pieces, or if you buy all 5 figures in the wave. So we'll move on now and get into some poses here and see range of what you can do with them. And so there you have it, everyone. So that is the figure. So final thoughts on it. It's a bit of a frustrating one for me, I've got to be honest, because this figure, in my opinion, is so close to perfect. It's really frustrating and disappointing that Hasbro's come so close to making a perfect, 6-inch figure of Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones, and yet there's so many simple, silly things that just let it down. For me, anyway, in my opinion, firstly, one of the main culprits is the hands here. The fact that it's a ball joint and the hand pops on. There's no hinge. I don't like that. I think that's really detrimental, especially for articulation. Another really, really frustrating thing is the plastic here on the holster and for the whip, for holding the whip. The fact that these are little tabs here, and they just do not pin into the pinholes where they're meant to go. It's just so frustrating and annoying that such a simple thing, and it's just a design flaw that to me, really lets the figure down. It could and should have been so much better than it is. Next to that, then the other main thing that to me lets it down is I initially was okay, quite like the idea of the single joints on the elbows here and the knees, but after posing the figure on the knees especially, it's a real pain, it's a real hindrance, because when you go to bend the knee joint, because it's one solid joint, you're essentially bending almost the full knee. You don't have the subtlety that you get with a double knee joint, so you can't just do subtle little bends in the knee. It's almost bending the full knee, so you can't get that little subtle stances that you could with double knee joint figures. So that again to me is a real letdown. That's sad. In saying that though, it's not all bad. Pros for me are beautiful face sculpt. Really looks like Harrison. The silhouette is perfect. Looks, straight away it's Indiana Jones. The detailing here and the sculpt is beautiful, and dare I would say perfect. The things like the weather in here, and the hat and the jacket. It's these little things that make the figure so close to perfect. And then, as I say, you have the flaws here. Again, these tabs, the hands, the knees. It's so frustrating, just without being a broken record, because it is just damn near perfect, and it just misses the mark on these simple, small things, and it's just really frustrating, because it's frustrating trying to pose him. It's frustrating, trying to do things like, once you get him posed and have him in a static position, it's fine. He looks good. But it's Indiana Jones, especially for someone like me who does toy photography. You want to get your figure out and play with it. You want to get him into some dynamic poses, get him into some real action shots, and sadly that's not going to be as easy as I think a lot of us would have hoped or thought. So final thought, if you're an Indiana Jones fan, I feel like this is a must-buy figure, even with all the flaws that I feel are flaws. I feel like it's still a must-buy figure. But what I would say is for me personally, after getting this figure now, having it out of the box, playing with it, posing a little bit, I don't think I'll be buying any more. So my initial thought was that I was only going to be buying this figure. I had no interest in buying the others. Maybe the likes of Short Round or Dr. Henry Jones Sr., maybe characters like that, or Salah. That had been my plan, and then I saw the reveals out of Star Wars Celebration from the Lucasfilm panel for Hasbro, and I was really loved the Temple of Doom wave, but now after having this figure, I just don't feel as enthused or excited as I was. I feel like now he's going to be my only Indiana Jones, and I'm just happy to leave it now at him, and just not bother with the rest of the wave. And that's, for me personally, that's sad that to feel like that. But unfortunately, it seems to be indicative of what's going on at Hasbro at the minute. I'm seeing this with a lot. You know, they're just, for all the right moves they're making, they're still just making really silly ones, and it's unfortunately putting us all as collectors off. So that's my thoughts on it. So yeah, as I say, a great figure, just frustratingly so close to being perfect, and just it's too far off the mark. And you know, other figures would be forgivable, but with this, because it's so close, it's just not forgivable at all in my eyes. So that was my unboxing review of the brand new Indiana Jones Adventure Series 6-inch Raiders of the Lost Ark Indiana Jones figure from Hasbro. Really hope you have enjoyed the video. If you have, please don't hesitate to like it, to comment on it, to share it. Additionally, if you enjoyed the video and enjoy the other content on the channel here, please don't hesitate to give the channel a subscribe. It's massively appreciated, and all those interactions really help the channel grow here. And if you like as well, don't hesitate to get in touch with me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. Most active on Instagram and Twitter, and I try to answer every message that I get and every comment or reply that I get. So I'm always looking forward to hearing from you, the viewers watching the videos. So don't hesitate to get in touch. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you'd like to see from the line going forward, and just any other thoughts you have related to the video. Alright, so with that, everyone, that's it for this week's video. So I'll see you in the next one. Until then, look, I hope you all have a great week, and all the best, everybody. Bye.